A moral duty to make yourself as unignorant and as unstupid as you possibly can. And that it was pretty much your highest moral duty. Maybe taking care of your family came first, but in the ranks of moral obligations, he really believed that rationality was a moral duty. And he worked at it, and he scorned people who didn't do it. He hated sending other people invoices and needing money from richer people. I thought it was undignified. I wanted my own money. Not because I loved ease or social prestige. I wanted the independence.
If you were...
Now that is easy because it's so simple.
What is it?
You don't have a lot of envy, you don't have a lot of resentment, you don't overspend your income, you stay cheerful in spite of your troubles, you deal with reliable people, and you do what you're supposed to do. And all these simple rules work so well to make your life better, and they're so trite. Poor pathetic architect who criticized me is just an ignoramus. He can't help himself. I guarantee the one thing about him, he's not fixable. We have to deal in things that we're capable of understanding. Once we're over that filter, we have to have a business with some intrinsic characteristics that give it a durable competitive advantage. And then, of course, we would vastly prefer a management in place with a lot of integrity and talent. And finally, no matter how wonderful it is, it's not worth an infinite price. So we have to have a price that makes sense and gives a margin of safety considering the natural vicissitudes of life. That's a very simple set of ideas. Value investors are going to have a harder time now that there's so many of them competing for a diminished bunch of opportunities. So my advice to value investors is to get used to making less. Getting more value than you pay for. That's what investment is. If you want to be successful, you have to get more value than you pay for. And so it's never going to be obsolete. For the next 3 weeks would be more pleasant if you went on heroin, but it would totally destroy you over the long pull. And that's what an economy does when it allows itself to be seduced by the potential for an idiot boom into allowing all this gross immorality and this craziness to take over. The work is done if you get it out of your inbox and into somebody else's inbox. That is not getting it done. Getting it done is when it's done, not when it's in somebody else's inbox. Warren and I have seen our holdings in Berkshire go down top tick to bottom tick by 50%. I think it's in the nature of long-term shareholding with the normal vicissitudes in worldly outcomes and in markets that the long-term holder has his quoted value of his stock go down and then by, say, 50%. You can argue that if you're not willing to react with equanimity to a market price decline of 50% 2 or 3 times a century, you're not fit to be a common shareholder, and you deserve the mediocre result you're going to get. Very counterproductive for an individual to feel like a victim even if he is. Therefore, I don't like politicians that get ahead by trying to make everybody else feel like a victim. They make my flesh crawl. Who wants to be a victim instead of a survivor?